So, I would like to talk something about Buddhist Buddhist attitude towards worldly progress. Some people generally say Buddhism is a religion, guide us towards detachment. Ultimate goal of a Buddhist is achieving detachment towards worldly things or material world, material gains. In a way, I can say that is true. The ultimate achievement of a Buddhist is having detachment towards material gain. But it does not mean Buddhism condemns material progress. Material progress is necessary until we achieve liberation. You see, the Buddha attained enlightenment. He has eradicated attachment towards all material things. But after that, he survived for 45 years. How did he survive for 45 years? Because people who live around the Buddha supported him, provided 4 types of requisites. 4 types of requisites. Robes, then food, then shelter or places to stay, then medicine. I think we all know there was a special or specialist doctor to look after Buddha's health. He was a royal doctor of the King Bimbisara. King Bimbisara was a very powerful king during the Buddha's time. He had a wonderful physician or doctor called Jivaka. So he had appointed him as the doctor to Buddha, look after Buddha's health. So he was provided health facilities. So these 4 requisites, clothing or robes, then food, shelter, and medical needs. These are 4 requisites of a person, not only of the Buddha, everybody needs these. So they were provided by lay people, just ordinary people. If the Buddha was not provided those things, I think he would have attained final Nibbana immediate after attaining enlightenment. But he lived 45 years and served the people because of people's help. People provided for requisites. So, just because when a person attains enlightenment, he is free from all the defilements, does not mean material wealth, material progress is meaningless. It is meaningful, it is necessary until a person attains enlightenment. But after that also, for that person's survival, supplying material needs by other people is necessary. But there is a difference. When an enlightened person make use of material things or for requisites, and ordinary person, when an ordinary person uses material things or for requisites, very different. One clear difference is enlightened person take for requisites, so material things, just for survival. Just for survival. Why an enlightened being want to survive? In order to help others to realize the same truth, to attain the same goal. To attain the same goal, that person, for example, the Buddha. Buddha wanted to live after attainment of enlightenment, fully enlightenment. We know under the Bodhi tree, after attaining enlightenment, he thought of others. I have attained enlightenment, I have attained total liberation from all the defilements and suffering. I must, then I should teach the path I have realized. The Buddha was thinking of that after attainment of enlightenment. Then he has seen what he has attained was not easy. That attainment was not easy. He struggled so many lifetimes. Even in his last life also he had to struggle. And that Dhamma, that teaching is so difficult to realize. Because his Dhamma, his teaching is like, according to thoughts of the Buddha, his teaching is like swimming against the current. Swimming against a very strong current, that is very difficult. Swimming with the current is not that difficult. So, here current means all the defilements. Defilements are taking us away towards lower levels. So the Buddha has overcome this situation, attained enlightenment. So attaining enlightenment is like swimming against the current, something which is very difficult. So the Buddha thought, this is very difficult. I also had so many difficulties to attain this. So people may not be able to realize this. He thought, few times he thought of that. But in the end he thought, there can be some people, not all, there can be certain people who can realize my Dhamma, so I must preach. That's how we decided to go to, after 7 weeks of enlightenment, decided to go to Benares to find his former colleagues and preach, and started preaching the Dhamma. So, otherwise, he should have decided, I have achieved whatever I wanted, there is nothing else to achieve, then I don't have to live, I can pass away. But he did not come to that conclusion, because he wanted to preach the Dhamma. The Buddha's intention was to help people who are in material in the world and attached to material things, by teaching the Dhamma, helping to get rid of worldly suffering. So, the Buddha did not come to a conclusion just by attaining enlightenment he should pass away, because the worldly people, who are attached to material world, must learn his Dhamma and find a way to get rid of worldly suffering. And he lived with the world, preached, associated with people who were leading an ordinary life. So, attaining enlightenment is the highest goal, but material world, people who live with material gains, enjoy material world, is also necessary until they attain enlightenment. That is the Buddhist attitude towards material world. One cannot refuse, one cannot deny the importance of material world and living a comfortable life in material world. But there is a difference between the Buddha and ordinary people live in this material world. The Buddha lived, he used material things, as I said earlier, for requisites, but without any attachment. That is the difference. The Buddha had food, sometimes he got best food because he was invited by some rulers, bankers, and provided best food. Sometimes he received very poor quality food also. Once he was spending his Vasana period, 3 months of Vasana period. During that time there was a famine, so Buddha and his disciples who lived with him had to depend on or had to survive on horse food, some very ordinary grains brought by some merchants to feed horses. No other food for about 3 months. So he got best food, he got worse food also. But he never complained. But if you do like that, we will complain. So without any complaint, the Buddha lived with monks 4 months, 3 months. But difference is, food can be very good, food can be ordinary, food can be very poor. No complaint, no attachment. He just took his food just to survive. Why? He wanted to survive and preach. He wanted to survive and guide people to attain the same liberation. That was his aim. But we, sometimes some people eat to survive and survive to eat. We have two types of people. Anyway, when we use 4 requisites, food, shelter, then medicine, all these things, our 4 requisites, we have attachment. We use them with attachment, not with non-attachment. So the Buddha had used all these with none attachment. Only purpose is survival for the purpose of teaching the Dhamma. Actually, we monks are also supposed to contemplate on this. When we take food, we have to contemplate on food. I take this not for development of my strength, not for development of my appearance, not for physical appearance, improvement of physical appearance, just for surviving to practice the Dhamma and realize the Dhamma. When we take medicine also, we have to think like that. When we take robes also, we have to think like that. We are not wearing robes to have a good appearance. You see, robe is always the same pattern, no changes. But all other kind of dresses change. One of the fast changing item in the world is suits or dresses. What is the main reason behind? There are some designers make tons of money by designing few dresses. Greed. I don't say people are wrong. That's common world. Common world must survive with all these things, otherwise common world cannot go on and on. Must have some changes. So the robe until today is same. Because of Buddha's teaching, we cannot change the pattern. There is no way to change pattern. Oldest pattern of a dress. So monks are supposed to pay attention towards the robe, thinking this is to protect my body from flies, mosquitoes, heat and cold. Must think. Although we are not free from attachment, at least we had to do that practice. Then shelter, about the shelter also the same. So all the 4 requisites monks has to use with that kind of thoughts, at least that understanding can go into their mind deeper and deeper when they contemplate on this every day. So the Buddha after attaining enlightenment, he was totally free from attachment towards 4 requisites. So that is the difference between people who are attached to material world and people who have attained enlightenment. So I mentioned about Buddhist economics. Buddhist economics does not mean only that aspect. Buddha has paid attention towards 4 requisites. That is the path for people who have attained ultimate goal of Buddhism, plus who are totally committed, like giving up lay life and become receive ordination. They have to pay attention towards that line. But according to the Buddha, lay people must have some attention, special attention towards 4 requisites they are using. They can use different kind of clothing, they can use different kind of food, they can enjoy that. When they have good food, they can appreciate. When they don't have good food, they can refuse. They are free from that. But one day they have to reach that level. But the Buddha never forced people to reach that level immediately. So in Buddhist economy, necessary things for a person to lead a comfortable life should be obtained in a right way, righteous way. Buddhist economy, the important advice given by the Buddha is economy should be, development of economy should be achieved in a righteous way, not wrong way. But nowadays, big companies, I don't know whether they are practicing what they do in a righteous way. A big company can swallow a small company. That's what happened today. So now 11:30, I would like to stop here. What I can say is Buddhist, ultimate goal of Buddhist is achieving freedom from all the worldly things, but it doesn't mean ordinary lay people should not work hard, should not earn to lead a comfortable life. But important thing is they have to remember all these things are not forever. One day have to give up, therefore must think of the reality and must make an effort to realize reality. Okay. No more question. Why? It is a very small country, isolated from the world. They can practice that, the simple life. But I heard now Bhutan is also slowly moving towards more and more material gain, because influence from, especially from Singaporeans also. Now a lot of Singaporeans go there. Even Burma, Singapore influence is strong in Burma. So Singapore is a country which has, I don't blame Singapore, it's a country which has achieved a very good material development. That is not wrong. But those simple countries, people of those simple countries, by seeing this, they are attached to this. So Bhutan, in the future, Bhutan may change. But their attitude is good. They don't go all out for material gain, try to lead a simple life, and they are happy because happiness always comes as a result of I forgot the word, as a result of contentment. At the moment, they are quite contented people. That's how I can see it. But slowly, when they see outside world and what they have, what they gain, with what kind of things they enjoy, slowly their contentment will be disappeared. unless they are very strong with mental development. Best thing is this. In Bhutan, if you practice contentment and lead a simple life and happy, it's not so great. If you can do it in Singapore, you are very great. That's what I can say. You have everything to enjoy. You have all the material things. Yet, then you use that. There is nothing wrong. But you don't develop too much attachment towards that. Try to be quite simple. Especially, mentally, you become simple. Your mental attitude towards all these gains can be simple. Less attachment you use these. That is very difficult, but that's very, very great. Yeah, you can watch, but you must have some wisdom. What to choose, what not to choose. Even certain things you choose, very luxury things, but luxury things you can use without attachment. No need to be attached to. We can eat like a beggar, we can eat like a king. We are not kings, but we can eat like a king. The king's attachment towards food is not so strong, because every day he got good food. But you give very nice food to a beggar, and you bring another beggar near to take his food, he can quarrel. Because when somebody eat like a beggar, greed is very strong.